Coming up, thunderstorms predicted for later today. How will the weather impact your 4th of July festivities? Plus, plenty of Independence Day options where you can catch a fireworks show with the family. And tips to stay safe if you're lighting up the grill to celebrate today. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us on this Independence Day. Our top story, so many outdoor events dependent on the weather today. First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi here to let us know if any storms will affect your plans. John?
Yeah, it's going to be a busy afternoon, I suspect. It'll be a lot like yesterday, actually. Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion shows we started off pretty nice, and in fact, we'll have plenty of sunshine around. So I think with all the sunshine, the beaches will probably get pretty busy, and then the clouds will build as they're already starting to, and some of those are going to yield thunderstorms a little bit later on. Check this low pressure area out on our satellite view. I mean, it's very clear out there in the Atlantic, moving closer to the state of Florida, and at the surface it's got a trough of low pressure that it's creating. So the combination of that trough of low pressure, little daytime heating, a light easterly flow forcing the showers closer to the coastline, all mean that it's going to be a busy afternoon. Lots of lightning around, and remember, when the lightning roars, go indoors. If you hear the lightning, you're in danger of being struck, and we want everyone to be safe outside. We're already seeing a few showers begin to build. They'll start first in inland areas and then drift back toward the coast. That's why today I've called this a First Alert weather day. It's not something we haven't seen before in Florida in the summer. It's just that the beaches are going to be so crowded, and the timing of these storms is such that we could probably see, along with that low pressure area, some pretty powerful thunderstorm activity similar to yesterday. Maybe even some small hail, some gusty winds. These storms build around the dinner time hour, or maybe a little earlier, and then advance toward the coastline, where a lot of people I know are going to be out there kind of setting up their site, staking their territory, getting things ready to watch the fireworks displays tonight. We'll talk about what we think will happen by the time the fireworks displays start, coming up in just a few. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Right now, preparations are underway on Sarasota's Bayfront for tonight's fireworks show, which gets underway at 9 p.m. Tens of thousands of people are expected to line the area from Selby Gardens all the way to the Ringling Bridge. ABC 7's Ray Collins is just back from the Bayfront with a preview. Ray?
Scott, police will shut down US 41 on the Bayfront between Orange and Gulfstream at 7 o'clock tonight, so you want to get there early. Busy time today already. Some couples are out there having some fun on the water. We saw some paddle boarders out there on the Bayfront today. Also some families playing volleyball. We found one group that arrived before 9 o'clock this morning. They picked their usual spot, pitched 2 different tents, and brought out plenty of food and drinks as well, and plan to settle in for the entire day. It's an annual tradition they've been doing there for years.
I've been coming since I was little, and then when we met, we got together. We've been doing it the last, 8 years or more?
Yeah.
What time do you shoot for?
We try to get out here at least in between 8 and 9 because eventually they block off that parking lot, and this is a perfect shady spot right on the water.
Yep.
Beautiful
Fireworks.
view.
So again, 41 closes down on the Bayfront at 7 p.m. Fireworks at 9. The road reopens at 11. You want to get there early. Park in one of the downtown garages, but we're hearing already one of the 2 is already at capacity, Scott. Should be a busy night there.
Absolutely, always is. All right, Ray, thank you. There are plenty of other fireworks shows planned for this evening. For a beach view, you can check out the 4th of July celebration at Siesta Key Beach. Viewing area opens at 6. Fireworks start at dusk. Also, fireworks over the Manatee River. That display will be at the Bradenton Riverwalk and, of course, the Palmetto side of the river. That show starts at 9. We have information on other 4th of July events on the Suncoast, including in Venice and Northport, on our website at mysuncoast.com. Celebration already underway on Longboat Key, where the annual Freedom Fest Parade kicked off today's festivities at Bicentennial Park. Residents came out in their best red and white and blue attire to take part in the event. Kids got to release dozens of butterflies thanks to the Longboat Key Garden Club. Besides the parade, families took part in free games, food, sand art, and face painting. The Anna Maria Island Privateers just wrapping up their annual 4th of July parade in Manatee County. More than 20,000 people attended that event back in 2016 along Coquina Beach in Anna Maria. This year, the 7-mile route featured more than 100 parade entries and 850 participants. Well, after more than a century, a flag has now been erected at one of Manatee County's oldest veteran cemeteries in Rabonia. This morning, residents from all over the county attended a ceremony commemorating that new flag. honoring the veterans and family members who were buried there. Manatee County Veterans Office, the Jewish Family and Children's Services of Sarasota Manatee, and many other area residents led the charge in raising more than $1,300 needed to put that flagpole up. An estimated 40,000 veterans live in Manatee County, including Rabonia resident Charles Miller, who says the flag was well overdue.
I am a vet, so it just made me feel like I owe the other veterans something to do. So they can rest in peace now, and we'll continue doing the good work.
Manatee County Commissioner Priscilla Trace and Manatee County Veterans Service Officer Lee Washington were also guest speakers at the event. If your 4th of July plans today involve grilling up some memories with the family, there are some important safety tips to keep in mind. ABC 7's Marla Spence has some ideas.
Today is considered to be one of the biggest grilling holidays of the year. Before you throw a few hot dogs on the grill, the system's fire chief for Sarasota County says be careful. Within the last few years, they've seen quite a few grilling fires and accidents. Mike Hartley with the Sarasota County Fire Department says neither grill, charcoal, or gas are less dangerous than one another. He says for both kinds, you need to be very cautious and remember not to overload your grill with food. He says before you get to that step, though, there are a few things that you need to do to make sure you and your family are safe this holiday.
First, make sure you start with a clean grill. Get it at least 10 feet away from the occupancy or the house or wherever you're doing some grilling, so there's nothing near or around it that could catch on fire. And you do want to make sure that when you are grilling, first, especially in a gas grill, keep the lid open when you're lighting it. You don't want the gas build up and here you are trying to ignite it and then all of a sudden it lets go.
Besides being safe while barbecuing, there are also a few safety hazards when it comes to cleaning your grill. Those dangers are surrounding grill bristle brushes. This comes after 2 women in North Carolina ended up having pieces of bristles in their grilled food. In one woman, a tiny grill brush bristle ended up sticking her burger and then pierced her tongue deep in the back of her mouth, causing her to have 3 surgeries.
Felt like a sharp piece of glass pierced my tongue. The first surgery, they manipulated my mouth and tongue for 4 hours, and the second surgery for 2 hours. So it's left me with ulcers and no feeling in my tongue.
Before firing up the grill for the 4th, doctors recommend using a Brillo pad, stone, or bristleless brush to clean the grill before you cook this holiday. I'm Marla Spence reporting for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Marla, thank you. New details today on a story we've been following on Holmes Beach. Police arresting a man they say was involved in a violent burglary last week. 55-year-old Mark Snyder taken into custody last night thanks to tips from the public. Police releasing surveillance videos, which they say shows Snyder near the crime scene. Chief of Police says Snyder confessed to burglarizing and then beating the 71-year-old homeowner last week. Police say they're working on recovering the stolen items. City of Sarasota's auditor and clerk wants a new $500,000 facility to hold all of the city's documents, but not everyone is in favor of that move. Mayor Liz Albert says the timing could not be worse. She says the city is already considering raising taxes this year, and a new facility doesn't make sense if the city is moving towards a paperless future.
I think just with all of the things that we're looking at in terms of how to, close a budget gap, this is not something that we need to be doing. We can store these off-site for around $4,000.
Supporters say the city needs a facility because the current one on 17th Street is in bad condition and documents could be damaged there. There's no word yet on when commissioners could make a final decision. New developments today out of Thailand, where the race to get a soccer team and their coach out of a cave continues. ABC's Maggie Rulli details the high-stakes rescue operation underway and how getting them out is still very dangerous.
Smiles, and even some laughter. After 10 days in total darkness, those 12 boys and their coach, trapped deep within a cave in Thailand, now have hope. Wrapped in mylar blankets, all are in good health, suffering only minor scrapes and bruises. But medical experts warn
You want to know what their air quality is, what their oxygen supply is, their hydration, their temperature control, their psychological state.
As doctors monitor the boys' health, the race is on to get them out of the cave and back with their anxious families.
Everybody's still waiting for the kids to come out.
Officials say the boys are already practicing using scuba masks to prepare for a potential water rescue. But according to divers, swimming out would be incredibly difficult.
You have to dive down and come up, and you're back to rock climbing, really, over huge breakdown hills, and then the diving starts.
The area where the team is trapped is about a half-mile underground and a little over a mile from the cave's entrance. To get there, divers had to navigate a maze of caverns and passageways, some with enough room to stand, others completely submerged, barely wide enough for scuba equipment to squeeze through. The entire trek taking at least 6 hours. So far, families have only been able to hear their sons' voices on that video, and they have yet to be able to speak to them directly. Thai authorities say they're working to lay down a phone line into the cave, but water keeps damaging it. But they say they'll keep trying again today. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
And for the latest breaking news across the world and here on the Suncoast, as well as your first alert weather forecast, remember you can download our app. You can find it at your app store. Look for WWSB or My Suncoast. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how to avoid triggering PTSD in veterans that live in your area as you celebrate the 4th of July tonight. And later, a warning for parents to be on the lookout today for fireworks that look like children's toys.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So, you know, we talked about the thunderstorms and the lightning and all of that. And the other thing to mention is the heat index, which is going to be high again today as well. So clearly, we live in Florida in the summer. We often have heat indexes of 100, and we'll be there again today. So stay hydrated, you know, make sure you get plenty of breaks in the shade. If you're at the beach, the UV index is going to be high enough to burn you, too, if you're not wearing a sunscreen. So all those things all added together, going to be a lot of people getting some beach time today that haven't gotten beach time in a while. So just take it easy out there. 88 degrees current air temperature, heat index already at 95, well on the way to 100 today. We have calm winds and a dew point value coming in at 72. So here's what I think is going to happen. As we head into around the 3 o'clock hour, we're going to see some pretty big storms beginning to build in inland areas. Frequent lightning, maybe some of the storms producing just torrential downpours of rain. I'd put the rain chance at 50%, might even be higher than that. And then as we head into the 7 p.m. period, we'll start to see some of those storms back building closer to the coastline. And there'll still be some pretty strong storms around. Multiple lightning strikes, some downpours of rain, perhaps some small hail, all those kinds of things, gusty winds as well. Then we'll start to see, as the sun sets and the storms kind of blanket the area and lay down a nice cooler layer of air, we'll start to see some of those storms begin to decrease in intensity. And as we head into probably 8, 9, 10 o'clock hours, we'll see only a few storms left. So it's really not the fireworks display that I'm concerned about. It's that time leading up to it when I think we'll probably see the biggest of the thunderstorms around. Right now, you can really make out that area of low pressure kind of spinning around down there. We've got a few storms starting to build up in inland areas already, so we're well on the way. Clearly well-defined area of circulation out here at upper levels and mid-levels of the atmosphere moving on in. And oh, by the way, we've got 2 spots in the tropics that we're watching as well, one far off, giving a small chance of developing as colder waters down here. And then this one has an excellent chance of developing at least into a tropical depression over the next few days. But even if it did, it wouldn't impact our weather all that much. But we'll keep an eye on it and watch it. Watching the showers build along that easterly breeze, a trough of low pressure added to it. All of those things team up with an easterly wind to push those storms back toward our coast, which will be the favored coast for some of these stronger storms. It's going to be an active afternoon, I think, later afternoon. So we'll call it a first alert weather day. Now for boaters, it'll be all right for the next couple hours, I think. East wind coming in at about 5 to 10, but as we head into the evening, we'll watch some of those storms move out into Gulf waters. So just take it easy. 91 for today. Tomorrow, 91, 50% chance of storms. We'll call this a first alert weather day, though today's weather and tomorrow's weather will be similar. I think this is going to impact a whole lot more people today, obviously. So and remember, when the thunder roars, go indoors. And then over the next several days, we'll watch the wind pattern reverse, turning more to a westerly wind, which, as we know, favors those morning showers near the coast, pushing those showers inland, leaving the coastal regions kind of high and dry during the maximum heating of the day. And rain showers continue on into next work week. Scott?
John, thank you. In Health Smart, the summer doesn't only bring the hot weather, it also brings more fleas and mosquitoes, and those can make your cats and dogs sick. Animal shelters suggesting pet owners give flea and heartworm prevention medicine to their dogs and cats. If your pets are not on any prevention medicine and get heartworms, that treatment can be very costly. And heartworms can be deadly to pets, too. Shelter workers warn now is the time to get the medicine for your pets.
Make sure your animal has the flea prevention and the heartworm prevention, especially in the summer. I mean, all year long, but summer months, the fleas are worse, the mosquitoes are worse.
Experts recommend you check with your vet about where to find the best preventative medicine specific to your four-legged friends. Plus, it may not cross your mind, but a group that can be traumatized by fireworks are military veterans. The loud noises and smell of gunpowder can trigger post-traumatic stress disorder. Retired U.S. Sergeant Richard Mooney says he's able to get through it by listening to loud music indoors. He also says talking about it with other veterans in his support group helps.
The best person you can talk about that problem is with a fellow brother who's been in the military. It doesn't matter what time period we served. We've all gone through a lot of similar things at different times.
If you plan on setting off fireworks in your neighborhood, make sure you check with your neighbors to let them know ahead of time. And also try setting off fireworks at a reasonable time to avoid surprising anyone who may be trying to go to sleep. And bottom line, just be a good neighbor. Time now to get over to the kitchen and say hello on this Independence Day to ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Hi, Judy.
Hi there, Scott. And gosh knows I have 3 little puppies at home that will be blasting the music for sure tonight to keep them comforted. But today I'm going to comfort you with a nice, bright lentil salad. Now, this is something that I use the lentils that don't have to be soaked overnight. You just have to rinse them very well and then just pick through in case you feel some grit in there for sand. We're going to put that together with some bright lemon and prosciutto and grilled chicken, and we are going to have a summer blast of a lentil salad. I'll be back in just a few minutes to get started cooking.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country, right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at score.org.
Welcome back. We all know fireworks are synonymous with the 4th of July, but this year parents are being warned to talk to their kids about certain fireworks that look just like toys. Reporter Gina Esposito explains how the explosive imposters can be dangerous in a matter of seconds.
Does this look like a firework?
No, it looks like kids' toys.
The sweet eyes of this unicorn are deceiving. John Shell has enjoyed fireworks with his children in the past, but he's never seen something quite like this.
It is very discouraging that these manufacturers are making these fireworks to look like toys, and in no way, shape, or form are these toys.
Adam Ryerson with the Concord Fire Department says fire inspectors discovered the unicorn and dragon during an inspection at a fireworks stand.
The My Little Pony looking one shoots smoke out the backside and then flames and sparks out the front. When we did our test, 2 different projectiles came out of the front of that.
Ryerson says that aspect of the unicorn makes it illegal in North Carolina.
As soon as we identified it, she pulled them off the shelf.
Ryerson says if parents see the fireworks, don't buy them.
It's good to know so kids can be safe and make sure that, you know, adults are setting off the fireworks and that the kids aren't playing with something that could be dangerous for them.
Wow. Gina Esposito reporting there. Fire officials are encouraging parents not to buy these fireworks, but if they do, or any other fireworks, the safest way to dispose of them, just drop them in a bucket of water. Leave them there for 24 hours. Back to the kitchen. Judy Gallagher fixing something good for the 4th of July.
Okay, Scott, for people that don't like lentils, you can substitute pastini, which is a teeny little macaroni, even smaller than rice, and that's a great base. So we have both cooked up. You can cook the lentils according to the package. You basically want to start them in very hot water and then let it simmer with the ever so slightly bubbles with the lid half off. It takes about 25 minutes. If you're cooking them for salad, always longer if you're cooking them in a casserole or something like that, or used as a just plain side dish. Now, we have that done, so what we're going to do now is talk about the basic ingredients. Today, I purchased something called lemon turmeric salad dressing, and it's made with avocado oil. So really healthy for you, really good, lower in calories and sugars. You can, if you don't want to get this, or you're making this today because you have the lentils at home, no problem. What you're going to do is you're going to take about a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise, and then you're going to take some of either that lemon vinaigrette, or honestly, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice will be perfect. And this makes an aioli. So an aioli basically is a mayonnaise because it's an olive oil and egg, or oil and egg base. So there we go. Take a little taste, needs a little salt, but that lemon is there. So what I did was I took sliced prosciutto, crisped it up in a 400-degree oven, which you can see right here. Then we let it cool down and we crisp it, chop it, and we have it right there. Now what we're gonna do is, when we come back, we're gonna add the marinated grilled chicken. I picked that up over at Southern Steer Butcheries. They're closed today, but they'll be back open tomorrow. So plenty of different marinated chicken breasts you can decide from. We'll put it all together with a lemon aioli and some extra toppings with herbs. And freshness is on the menu today on this hot July 4th.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
In life after the military, it's our duty as veterans to have each other's back.
I'm retired Colonel Greg Gatson, and it's my mission to help you get the benefits and services you've earned. If you need to file a VA claim, remember these important steps. Submit an online claim through ebenefits.va.gov. Work with an accredited Veteran Service Organization, or VSO. And if you need to attend a VA claim exam, please go. Visit this website to learn what to expect.
Coming up, the interviews continue in Washington. President Trump talks with more potential nominees for the U.S. Supreme Court. Plus, the most popular trophy in sports, lifting the spirits of a devastated community. And the longest flight in the world is making a comeback. How long it takes to fly from New York to Singapore.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. New details out of Washington, where President Trump celebrating the 4th of July, but also gearing up to announce his Supreme Court pick on Monday. The president has interviewed at least 7 candidates as he weighs who will replace retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy. ABC's Arlette Saenz has a story from Washington.
In West Virginia, President Trump touted his upcoming Supreme Court pick.
We're going to hit a home run here.
As he nears his self-imposed Monday deadline, the president has interviewed 7 potential nominees.
I've spent the last 3 days interviewing and thinking about Supreme Court justice. Such an important decision, and we're going to give you a great one.
The president's shortlist includes federal judge Brett Kavanaugh, a former clerk of retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy. Another option, Utah Senator Mike Lee, who spoke with the president on Monday by phone. The president is also considering 2 women, Judge Amy Coney Barrett of Indiana and Judge Joan Larson of Michigan. Both clerked for the late conservative Justice Antonin Scalia. They're Trump appointees to the Court of Appeals and were recently confirmed by Congress. Center stage at their joint confirmation hearing in September, abortion.
I would be bound by the precedents of the Supreme Court.
I agree with Justice Larson. Judge Coney Barrett in the spotlight. A former Notre Dame law professor, she's the mother of 7 children, 1 with special needs and 2 adopted from Haiti. She's won the favor of many conservatives, but some Democrats have raised concern her Catholic faith plays an outsized role in review of the law.
When you read your speeches, the conclusion one draws is that the dogma lives loudly within you.
Outside groups on both sides of the aisle plan on spending millions of dollars in ads as they gear up for the Supreme Court fight on Capitol Hill. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
The Capital Gazette newspaper in Annapolis, Maryland, getting some support from the Washington Capitals hockey team. The Stanley Cup champs sent the coveted trophy to the paper for the employees to hold and take pictures with. The paper's newsroom was targeted in a deadly shooting last week. 5 employees were killed there. The Capitals equipment manager, Craig Leidig, is an Annapolis native, and he brought the cup to share with his hometown. Leidig says he was so thrilled to bring a moment of happiness to a still grieving community. New details today about FEMA extending the free housing for Puerto Rican survivors of Hurricane Maria. A judge ordering FEMA to keep paying hotel stays now through July 24th. So far, the government has spent more than $432 million over the past 10 months. The announcement of this extension was too late for some, since last weekend several evacuees have left their FEMA-funded hotel rooms to live with relatives. Take a look at this. Despite rising oil prices, Singapore Airlines is ready to resume the world's longest flight. The company getting ready to relaunch the 19-hour non-stop flight to and from New York and Singapore. The route was scrapped back in 2013 when high fuel costs just made it too expensive. That is a 19-hour flight.
That's amazing.
19 hours. I don't, unless you have one of those big seats with the bed and all of that, I don't know how you sit on a plane in a cramped little seat.
I don't know. I'm thinking compression socks more than anything else. Goodness gracious, that's a long time at that altitude. We are also watching some big storms that are probably brewing later today. All the ingredients are kind of in place for an active weather afternoon. KCKey webcam shows plenty of sunshine, though, as we started off the day, and still have a lot of sunshine over Gulf waters. So another reason why I think these beaches are going to be very crowded today. because it seems like it's going to be a beautiful afternoon. But showers and thunderstorms will undoubtedly build along an area of low pressure that's already starting to move into the northern parts of the state of Florida, along with a surface trough of low pressure. So that little pocket of cool air aloft, combined with daytime heating, combined with ample moisture and an easterly wind, all mean that we'll see numerous showers and thunderstorms building this afternoon. You can already see a few starting to come on shore along the east coast. Those will move across the state, collide with our west coast sea breeze in inland areas, and numerous storms will start to develop into intense storms, dropping heavy amounts of rainfall as well as the potential for some hail later in the day. Futurecast shows the development of those storms as we head into the 4, 5, 6 o'clock hour, some of them pretty intense. We'll talk about that and the rest of the forecast for the week ahead in just a minute, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Now an update out of Sarasota County, where a no-swim advisory at Bird Key Park has been lifted. State health officials lifting that advisory yesterday afternoon after test results showed safer bacteria levels in the water there. Florida Fish and Wildlife is looking for your help to monitor red tide along the Suncoast. FWC says it needs volunteers who live along the coast to help their scientists collect water samples. Volunteers will need to be able to collect the samples at least once a month from piers, bridges, or docks, or from areas at least a mile offshore. If you're interested in signing up, you can find more information on our website at mysuncoast.com. Now to a scam alert you need to know about after a dozen unlicensed contractors were busted in Sarasota County. We talked with a licensed contractor, Denny Yoder, who says choosing a company or individual who is unlicensed could cost you a lot of money. Yoder says the process to become licensed is extremely rigorous. He had to take an 18-hour test and have 5 years of prior experience. He also says hiring an unlicensed contractor means they likely don't have the required insurance or permits, and this means the work they do likely won't be up to code.
Well, a lot of people don't think about it until after the problem. That's when they think, gosh, I should have taken the time up front. But it's really important to make sure that you're dealing with someone who is following all the rules, doing things right. Yes, I believe
Yoder says the best way for you to check if people you want to hire are licensed is by asking for a copy of that license. You can also visit a state website, sunbiz.org, to double check that business. The city of Northport is in the process of taking over operations at a busy fire station. A 5-year plan for emergency services calls for backing away from services that are currently controlled by Sarasota County. That station covers calls in the West Villages development, where a multi-million-dollar spring training complex for the Atlanta Braves is going up, along with hundreds of new homes.
We've put in for a SAFER grant, which is a federal grant for 21 positions. We're waiting to hear on that. We hope to hear something in the next month as to whether or not we'll be successful on that. It helps fund those positions and bring them on instead of having to absorb that cost immediately over a 1-year period or phase in over 2 years.
City officials say it's a long-term process, and they're looking at potential growth areas across Northport and making changes as needed. Some local pantries are trying to adjust to new ways of receiving the food they need to feed the area's hungry. Pantries can now pick up food directly from Feeding Tampa Bay's warehouse. They can pay a fee to have it delivered, or they can go to an assigned store for donations. One local food pantry has already noticed a difference in food quality.
You never know what you're going to get at the store. Food Bank of Manatee used to go out and get all that food and bring it back to the warehouse and pack it up so we knew exactly what we were going to get each time we went to Food Bank of Manatee. Just the stuff we needed for our clients.
Feeding Tampa Bay says this model has worked in other counties, and their hope is that the process will help provide more food throughout Manatee County. Charlotte County is asking for your help to put together its 2019 Show Us Your Charlotte calendar. They're asking for your favorite photos of the area, including beaches, parks, waterways, preserves, and even people. To enter, head over to our website, mysuncoast.com, for details on how to submit your photos. Coming up on the all-new ABC 7 News at 4, want to keep in mind for marine life as you head out to the beaches to avoid a hefty fine or even prison time. And both people and animals celebrating the 4th of July, what one furry intruder is doing to enjoy the holiday. Join us this afternoon for ABC 7 News at 4. Now let's get back over to the kitchen and check in again on lunch with Judy Gallagher. Judy?
Okay, Scott, so we have this lentil salad done now. I'm not going to show you the exact same way to do it if you're using pastini, and that is that teeny little pasta that's very good in chicken broth. So what we're going to do is we've added some of the crispy prosciutto, just crisped it in the oven, which makes it really easy. And then we've drizzled a little bit of the lemon dressing. Now I'm going to take that lemon aioli that we made, the mayonnaise with the lemon dressing, but you can simply use fresh squeezed lemon juice, and that will be fine. So give it little dabs. So with the kind of each serving that somebody might take, they'll get a little dab of aioli, and if you want, you can certainly serve some extra on the side. Now I have the fresh apricots and plums that I picked up yesterday over at Yoder's Produce Market, and we'll just kind of toss those in there. Then we're gonna take some fresh microgreens. You know, years ago I used to have to hit up my chef friends that owned a restaurant down here so I could get some of these microgreens. Now you can find them very easily at most gourmet stores, including Whole Foods. So it really makes a difference, gives you a good bite. Regular alfalfa sprouts are really unhealthy for you because they hold in bacteria, which is these microgreens are just powerful, delicious, bright flavors. Now I have the grilled chicken that's already cooked, and I'm just gonna toss that in a little bit wherever we go. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little more crispy prosciutto, and then we'll just touch it a little more of the lemon dressing or your own lemon vinaigrette, some salt and pepper, because the pastini itself is going to be just a simple flavor that's going to take on the different flavors that you've put in. So that works out really well. And then if you want, you can just put a couple tossed greens on top as well. So you kind of have the grand tasting of both, of a side salad and an entree salad, and I think that's going to work really well. So a little zest of lemon, and when we come back, hopefully this will brighten John Scalzi's day with a bite.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Hello, I'm John Merce. Rugs As Art is celebrating yet another anniversary, and I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for the many years of continuous support. All during the month of July, we're having a grand celebration. We have flooded our showroom with yellow tag specials, meaning more discounts and more savings than ever before, plus free padding. So don't miss this anniversary celebration at Rugs As Art, Sarasota's bigger and better area rug superstore.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
88 degrees the air temperature. We have a dew point value coming in at 72. It's hot, humid with a feels like of 95 already. Probably getting up to about 100 for a feels like temperature today. Top it out at about 90 with a 50% chance of storms. Some of those storms strong with gusty winds, heavy downpours of rain, small hail, that kind of thing. Lots of lightning strikes as well as they inch toward the coastline later in the evening around 5, 6, 7 o'clock. That's why I've called it a First Alert weather day. Not that we haven't seen things like this other times during the summertime, but there's going to be a lot of people at the coastline and just want everyone to be really safe this afternoon. If you hear the thunder, if you see the lightning, get indoors and seek shelter until the system passes. I think for the fireworks display at about 9 o'clock, things will have settled down nicely. We've got a spinning area of low pressure right about here, moving close to the shoreline. As it moves across the state later on this afternoon and into the evening, we'll start to see more and more of these showers and thunderstorms begin to line up right along the east coast sea breeze and then be pushed inland to meet our west coast sea breeze, where we'll see an explosion of storms. Like we saw yesterday, we have right now pretty quiet conditions across the region with a few storms starting in inland areas and one near the mouth of Tampa Bay. By the way, the new red tide report came in from Mote Marine, and spotters have found intense red tide irritants, respiratory irritants in the air at Nokomis and Venice Beach, the jetty, and then kind of low to moderate values south of that. The northern beaches, Siesta Key, Lido, Coquina, Holmes Beach, all look pretty good as of today due to the lack of toxins in the air there. So a westerly wind develops. Again, if you're at one beach where there's fish kills or red tide toxin in the air, you may want to just go to the next beach up the road, probably to the north, and you might encounter less of a problem. East to southeast winds developing with about a 5-knot speed. Should be a nice day out on the waters. The 7-day forecast calls for, again, chances of storminess across the region today. There could be some big thunderstorm activity around. Watch for that. There could be the potential of some gusty winds as well as some heavy thunderstorm activity, small hail. That's why we put up the First Alert weather status for today. Tomorrow we'll have similar conditions, but of course not nearly as many people out on the beaches. And then as we head into Friday and Saturday, we're going to see that easterly wind that's going to force all those showers to the beaches today. Kind of switch around to a more westerly wind, which will take those showers away from the coastline during the afternoon and push them into inland areas toward the other coast, so that during the time of maximum heating, we don't have any of those cooling showers around. And then as we head into next week, we'll keep the rain chance at about 40 or 50%. Scott?
John, thank you. In consumer news, it's important for parents and their children to remember during the summer months, playground equipment can become very warm and even hot. The heat can turn a playground into an oven before the afternoon hits. Playground equipment on the Suncoast recently measured as hot as 175 degrees. Firefighter Joe Nick says 120 degrees can cause second-degree burns, and anything above 140 will cause third-degree skin lesions. Nick says parents should look out for any equipment that has hard plastic, especially those with dark colors and black rubber, adding that if it's hot to you, it will be even hotter for your children.
With these temperatures, just playing on the playground, it can be very, very dangerous. And
So would you suggest parents just not bring their kids out here?
In the hottest part of the day, don't bring them out.
Fire officials say the best way to avoid injury is to touch the equipment with the back of your hand to check the temperature before your child plays on it. SeaWorld pass holders may get a big payout as part of a class action lawsuit against the park. Thousands of customers who purchased passes between December of 2008 and 2014 could receive soon a refund as part of a nearly $12 million settlement. Plaintiffs accuse SeaWorld of violating the Electronic Funds Transfer Act when it continued to charge customers for renewed annual passes after the fees had already been paid. If the court approves the settlement agreement, Eligible pass holders will receive a check in the mail sometime soon. SunPass toll transactions are finally starting to be processed about 22 days after an expensive upgrade to the system was expected to be finished. The Florida Department of Transportation thanking customers for their patience as SunPass customer service system posts tens of millions of transactions in the order they were made since the upgrades began June 6th. The state agency says 4 million transactions have been processed so far. Well, if you haven't booked your summer vacation yet, don't worry. We have the scoop on the cheapest weekend to get away. It's coming up next month. Flights are cheapest on August 25th, which is the weekend before Labor Day. Whether you're staying in the U.S. or traveling abroad, this is also considered the best weekend to fly. If you can't go away then, the next two cheapest summer weekends, Labor Day and September 8th. Still to come in your Suncoast News, we'll check in one more time with Judy in the kitchen, and we'll tell you about who the big winners are in this year's Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Thank you.
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke is a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
This is delicious. I particularly like the kind of lemony flavors that are going on in that.
So
really
you're
good.
getting a double, actually a triple lemon hit, because it finished it off with the zest of lemon, but I have that lemon aioli, which is just mayonnaise, and that lemon vinaigrette that I picked up over at Whole Foods, but you can also simply make your own, and I think the hits of lemon with the crispness and saltiness of the prosciutto and then the marinated chicken come together well.
Delicious recipe on our website, mysuncoast.com. Go check it out. Hit the dining link button. It will take you right there with Chef Judy's video instructions. Really good, Judy. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July to you. And
Thank you.
Scott, to you.
Thank you both. In entertainment news, one movie star is making a sequel, another hanging from buildings, and a third is starting a record label. David Daniel has a Hollywood Minute.
Tom Cruise has a new protege. Variety reports Cruise's co-star in Top Gun Maverick will be Miles Teller, who'll play the son of Goose, Maverick's friend and flying partner in the original 1986 Top Gun. The sequel is due out next July. Idris Elba has starred on the big and small screens. Now the actor is trying his hand at the music business. He's launched a record label, Seven Wallace Music, and signed its first act, the French artist James BKS, whose first single on Elba's label is described by Billboard as a blend of hip-hop, pop, and African music.
This is stupid.
This is the latest trailer for Skyscraper, which is largely one jaw-dropping scene of star Dwayne Johnson trying to pull off a Mission Impossible-style stunt, swinging around the outside of the title structure and leaping through a burning obstacle course of sorts. Skyscraper opens July 13th. Staying safely on the ground in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
A documentary taking a closer look into the life and death of Whitney Houston hits theaters Friday. Whitney tells the story of Houston's rise to fame as a teenager and her slow fall from grace. The film features previously unseen home video of Houston's private life and interviews with more than 70 people who were close to her. The multiple Grammy winner died in a drug-related drowning in 2012 at the age of 48. Whitney opens Friday in 400 theaters nationwide. And Oprah 2020 not likely. Winfrey revealing that her distaste for the presidential position in a recent interview with British Vogue. She said all of the background stress and fighting the position calls for would make her feel, quote, like I could not exist. Speculation first surfaced during her motivating speech at the Golden Globe Awards in January that she might be a candidate for president, but she has since put those rumors to rest and continues to focus on her support for women and the Me Too movement. The full interview, it will be released on Friday. Finally, a competition that's frankly amazing year after year. Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. Chow Down champions came together at Coney Island this morning to gorge, try to set a new world record for the most dogs downed in 10 minutes. On the women's side, that competition just finished a while ago. Miki Sudo took the title for the 5th straight year after downing 36 hot dogs in 10 minutes. 10-time winner Joey Chestnut on the men's side is taking on 20 competitors right now. Most people think he's going to win again. How many will he down? You don't want to know, probably. You may not want to eat another hot dog after watching it.
Once I watched it live on TV, and I don't think I ate a hot dog for a year.
That's the grossest competition in the world.
Hey, I'm all for eating and eating well, but I'm all for like chewing your food and relaxing over it.
Have a very safe and happy 4th of July. We'll see you again at 4 o'clock.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-Sparky.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now, before it's too late.
Make us fly! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. But what does it take to bridge the distance and keep them connected to family, home, and country? What does it take to strengthen our service members so they can be the greatest force for good in the world? It takes a force. Be a force behind the forces. Give today at force.uso.org.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC 7 shows on your streaming device.